It's August 1st of 2021. The Tokyo Olympics are in full swing, the pandemic has the entire country in a frenzy, and the men's 100-meter semifinals were taking place at 7 p.m. local time. Now, in the build-up to this men's 100, there were some crazy things that went down. One of the big favorites, Trayvon Bromell, had just been eliminated. Fred Kerley, who had not even run a 100 up till this season, was becoming one of the favorites. And Andre DeGrasse from Canada was making his usual late-season push to challenge anyone else in the field. This 100 meters was unfolding with all of the drama that many had hoped for. However, in this specific 100 meters, a very special kind of history was made.
Baker got a good start, so to Sabine China, China is in Lamar Jacobs.
Like a bullet fired from a gun at maximum velocity, the Chinese athlete Su Bingtian absolutely rolled this field over the opening 60, and his split through this opening stage was a shocking 6.29 second split, the single fastest opening 60 meters of all time. With his powerful frame and seemingly impossible opening speed, this split time here has become the standard for 60-meter greatness, and nobody else in history has ever been able to match this time. Not Christian Coleman, the indoor 60-meter world record holder, not Maurice Green, the previous 60 world record holder, not Asafa Powell, not Justin Gatlin, nobody. This 6.29 has been placed atop every single 60-meter list that there has ever been, and there's even been entire documentaries dedicated to this one opening. Except, there's just one problem. There's actually someone else that ran this exact time for the opening 60 meters. And after years of sprinting analysis and careful laser technology studies, we have finally found the truth. And the truth is simple. It's that Usain Bolt doesn't just have the greatest top speed that we've ever seen, he also has the greatest start of all time, making him undeniably the greatest sprinter to ever live. In the 2009 World Track and Field Championships, Usain Bolt ran his 9.58-second 100-meter world record. This time was a monumental achievement in the 100, as it broke his previous world record by more than 1/10 of a second, which to this day still marks the biggest jump in 100-meter running that we have ever seen. Unlike many other records over the years, this 9.58 represented a difference of more than 1% over his previous record, making it one of the biggest statistical anomalies in sprinting history. And as the years have continued, these splits here were understood as the splits that brought Bolt this world record. And notably, Bolt ran through 60 in 6.31, just barely off the world record and all-time fastest opening at 6.29 by Bingtian. However, after a study was posted from a mathematician in Germany, he realized that the camera operations represented a potential error, and the main reason for this was the position of the main cameras. Now, I'll post the full study in the description down below, because it is a very dense article looking at the full story on Bolt's world record. But to put it simply, various cameras were used for this entire performance. There were 10 static cameras positioned here, there were 4 pan cameras positioned at these locations, and there were also 3 laser cameras positioned behind the athletes at the starting line. And after breaking down all the camera angles and the times that they acquired, it was discovered that Bolt's actual 60-meter split came out to 6.29 seconds, the exact same opening 60 time of Su Bingtian from China. This is just another reason why Bolt is easily the best sprinter of all time. It's almost unfair as to how someone so tall, with so much incredible top speed abilities, can open their 60 meters this fast. It honestly goes against everything that we know about the 100. However, on this specific day, in this specific 100, Bolt had that extra ability to explode out of the blocks, and at 6.29, it is just unbelievable that he is now tied with Bingtian for the fastest opening 60 of all time. Now, one of the primary reasons why this opening 60 was measured incorrectly is because the angles of the positioned cameras on the track were not optimally placed, meaning that because it was not a 90-degree difference where the athletes crossed by, apply to the track itself, it can lead to a margin of error of approximately 0.02 seconds. And while the cameras placed at 20 meters, 40 meters, 80 meters, and the finish line all lined up with other laser-oriented cameras, the 60-meter split was slightly off here. After a deeper dive into the stats listed on the laser cameras, which uses the distance from an athlete throughout the race, it was discovered that 6.29 was much more accurate, meaning that Bolt, again, technically has another world record to his name. If getting this 6.29 split wasn't already crazy enough, this paper here also discovered something pretty fascinating about Bolt's top speed. While Asafa Powell and Tyson Gay reached their top speeds at 53 meters and 55 meters, respectively, Bolt reached his top speed at 68 meters, meaning that even though he got this insanely fast start, he was still not even at his top speed. And that means that even though this world record for the opening 60 was amazing, his second half was technically even more impressive, as he accelerated much longer than most others, and it was only at 70 meters into this race where he started to slow down. This means that while these 10-meter splits were initially thought of as Bolt's times, these are actually his splits that were brought in from his laser timing that represents this 9.58 world record. Now, beyond just looking at this 6.29 and Bolt's top speed abilities, which were both legendary moments from this world record, this paper also looks into what would have happened if Bolt would have simply run through the line back in the 2008 Olympics. And as many people thought, he most definitely could have run faster. Now, if you don't remember, Bolt celebrated quite early back in the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, throwing his arms out to the side and pumping his chest as he broke the world record in 9.69 seconds, which is still something that is hard to believe. I still remember this moment like it was yesterday, as Bolt shocked the world with this performance. But based on the way he finished, many people understandably wanted to know how fast he could have gone had he simply run through the line. Based on his early splits in this race and based on his closing abilities throughout his career, this paper states that had he simply run all the way to the finish, he likely would have hit a time at approximately 9.63 seconds, still slightly off his 9.58 world record, but still, a 9.63 is flying. Bolt's abilities have gone down in history as completely unmatched, and while you might have known him as a top speed monster that could stride away from anyone else in history throughout his career, the truth is actually that he was not just one of the greatest, but he was technically the greatest starter in 60-meter history, and this 6.29 proves this as an actual fact in sprinting. And now I would love to hear from all of you about this revelation in Bolt's running, and also about this study. How do you absorb this information and knowing that Bolt was technically the starting GOAT? And also, how do you break down Bolt's abilities now that you know he actually hit a 6.29? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments and we'll get a conversation going. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.